A while back I made this video about what is so great about Loopy Pro, and it occurs to me that there is one thing that I forgot which might actually be like the main thing. If you have an interest in making loop music, at a minimum you're going to need some kind of loop pedal, loop device, loop station, something that can loop sound over and over again. For the kind of looping that I am interested in, I also found that I need some kind of something to generate some sounds, either some instruments or something, a microphone to put my voice into the loop station. And for me personally, I found that I need some kind of effects processing. So when I first started looping, the loop rig that I built was big. It had a lot of instruments all going into a mixer, and then that stuff going into effects, and then that going into the loop pedal. There were a lot of wires. It was heavy. It was cumbersome to bring around. It took a long time to set up. It took a long time to tear down when I was done. Yeah. I was a person who was completely disinterested in cell phones and tablets, any of it not really an interest area of mine, but an iPad came to live with us, and as a consequence I began to discover the things that an iPad could do, and little by little it sort of seeped in, and I realized that rather than all of these different instruments which cost so much money and require so many wires and are so hard to tweak it and get the sounds just right, I could take all of that stuff and just leave it and replace it all with one iPad. So at first I used it supplementary, like I just added an iPad alongside all the different other instruments, but it just kept progressing that way where I didn't need all the other instruments. I just needed the iPad at some point, so then I just plugged the iPad into the effects processors and then that into the loop station. Then, somewhere around the year 2016 or so, along comes a little app called Loopy HD into my life, and I realized that wow, you could use an iPad as your loop station. And as soon as you do that, you don't even have to plug your loop station into the wall anymore. Like now, you can just be outside. So I came up with this cool idea. My new rig that I was very proud of was one used iPad as my musical instruments, one iPad as my effects processor because I found a cool effects program too, and one iPad as my looper, and just, there it is, 3 iPads. It's my whole rig. To me, this was amazing. This is like, what kind of a technological future world am I living in? I just have 3 used, inexpensive iPads, and I can like bring this portable studio that just makes music out of nowhere, and life is good. Now, fast forward to the year 2021, and Loopy Pro makes its way onto the scene. And after a few months of using Loopy Pro, it began to dawn on me that I do not need 3 iPads anymore. I mean, now everything can be done in one iPad, inside of one iPad. Like the music that you're making, the effects that you're processing, and the looping all can happen inside of Loopy Pro. I just can't even believe it. So yeah, all those things that I was saying before in the What's So Great About Loopy Pro video, those all still hold up. But for me, what makes Loopy Pro really great that I forgot, but that I think is really the it for me, is that Loopy Pro helps me with my risk tolerance. because I mean it has been pointed out to me that like, oh, that yes, you could achieve all of that on a laptop. I mean, making there, and people argue that you can do even better looping on a laptop. I don't doubt it. I mean, I assume that they know what they're talking about. But in terms of risk tolerance, like, if something, I live in a place where people, nefarious, villainous people, will steal things from musicians. It's true. I know that's how could someone do that? But yes, they do. And I'm telling you that if I ever had my laptop stolen at a gig, I don't know how I would ever recover from that. Like, I mean, the pictures of my family and the just work that exists on my laptop, like, no, 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 no. But this iPad, it's just my Loopy Pro iPad. It's just I mean, it is a beloved musical instrument. I mean, I totally do cherish this thing. And all of the hours of work that I've put into, making it the Loopy Pro iPad that I want. But it's also true that, like, the Loopy Pro that I cherish and love so much doesn't necessarily live in this particular iPad. And if somebody were to like steal this iPad, or this iPad was to get damaged, if some massive lighting rig were to come crashing down unexpectedly and just narrowly miss me but smash this thing to bits, I could buy another used iPad, for a couple $100 and get all of the Loopy Pro stuff that I've created off my hard drive and then back onto that iPad and be up and running in another couple weeks. It's peace of mind. And also in terms of like, theft proof, this is what I'm bringing to a gig. When I am done with the gig, I just put it in my pocket. And then I can close my jacket if I'm still worried, How is somebody gonna steal that? They're not. Anyway, if you are willing to talk, the whole comment section is wide open. So do you agree? Do you love Loopy Pro? If so, what are the things that you love most about it? If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you like talking about things related to live looping, please feel free to subscribe if you want to, or don't. Thank you for watching the video, and any Live Loopers videos that you watch. Thank you, and for any that you watch in the future, have watched in the past, just totally appreciate it. And also, loop on. I mean, I guess armed robbery, they could steal it, maybe, probably.